Not a pun on purpose, by the way, but here we go. In the top left side, we look at the main base of our Mexican Terran player who is currently living in South Korea. This is SpeCial.
And spawning over in the bottom right-hand side, playing as Red Zerg, it is Cham.
Now, Cham is one of the very few Terrans out there that will probably be like, oh yeah, I love roach builds against Zerg, or one of the very few Zerg players that's like, yeah, I love building roaches against Terran, and it's fine, you know. And then you speak to Raynor, and he's like, no, I hate these positions. If I'm ever forced to build roaches, you know, it's like I hate going into the mid game. And we can already see the drone leave. I don't know if he's just actually checking for proxies. That's kind of what it seems to be the case. Obviously, this would be a good map for 2 Rex as well against Hatch first, because it wouldn't take these SUVs very long to get to the other side of the map. But that's not happening, Ben. It is just a normal opening on both sides so far.
It is funny, like in all the years of StarCraft 2, the fact that we've watched quite a couple of TVZs today, and there's been multiple like drones being used early on, and I remember a while ago it was like, no, you can't use drones to do that kind of thing. It's such a waste, you know, like, but obviously 2 racks is quite prominent, as is like 3 racks and stuff, and it can be a very, very quick game over and done with. So the fact that Cham's kind of opted with that just to make sure he doesn't lose to anything dumb early on, that shows that he's fairly confident, you know. I like that kind of stuff when you bring that to a series. Just better safe than sorry, Kev.
I actually do think, though, that he's still going to build roaches on this map.
Yes.
Yeah, like this is Cham. He loves crazy roach aggression build. It could be a little bit early on into the game. Just some good old roachling Ravager. He might even march queens to the other side of the map. I just refuse to believe, until I truly see it, that he's just going to sit back, make a very few or like the minimal amount of Zerglings and turn it into like a Muta game or something. It's just like, no, I refuse to believe it. I'm expecting a roach bust, but I just don't know when it's going to happen.
And if we're super honest, like we know that SpeCial is very good against Zerg. Like he took down Su very recently in the GSL twice, 2-0, 2-0. And he utilized good bio play, good mech play. He can kind of do it all, this guy. And going up against him, given that Su played fairly standard for the most part, I do believe, it might be worth throwing out something a little bit weird, a little bit wild, but it's also good not to be predictable against a player that can pretty much do everything against you.
Look how annoying this Reaper is already, and the Reaper will pick up the first drone kill, might actually get a Zergling kill as well, and this obviously comes down to this map being so short, so the Reaper shows up a lot quicker as well. One drone was forced to morph into a Spore Crawler, a lot of Lings were low on HP. Already a good start for SpeCial. Don't want to make it a super big deal, but picking off a drone like this, we all know that these things matter quite a bit. Now the Queen is out of position. SpeCial might actually get a second drone. No, that's not going to happen.
It's super easy to pop out of this base with the Reaper as well, just having that jump ramp at the top there of this natural. I think one thing that's also worth mentioning, though, even though it has nothing to do with this game really, but this map is very beautiful and bright. Like, I do like the aesthetics of it, honestly, Kev.
All right, so I had a conversation with Gabriel at Stay at Home Server Cup, and I was like, you know, Gabriel, Lambo thinks that Death Aura is very beautiful. And Gabriel said something along the lines of like, yeah, I'm sure I would say the same if I was playing Zerg. And I have the feeling that you think this map is very beautiful because you're Terran, Ben. Like, it's not a bad map for those Terran pushes. And if I think of you, Mr. I have never gone over 38 SCVs in the last 3 months, then I can understand why you think this map is very beautiful.
I'll have you know, Kevin, I am a solid macro Terran, you know. I am not cheat. Oh, no, I've been a bit cheesy. But yeah, when it comes to this map, it's just... There's nothing super special. Was that another drone going down?
Yes, absolutely. Mid-air even. Who and Fatality would be very proud.
Yeah, a bit of a rocket jump over there, and like that was awesome. But Stim is being upgraded, so a very early Stim. A lot of Terrans have been doing this, by the way. Like when I watched, who was it? It was a really good Terran. Oh, I think it was Maru recently against Dark. When they played, Maru was often trying to get Stim way earlier than when he started his third CC, which is, you might be like, hey, starting your third as early as possible is always valuable, but he got his Stim earlier, meaning he got the Combat Shield earlier, and then he'd do the push way, way quicker. So,
oh my goodness, no. Ben, sorry. The Queens are kind of out of position. The Hellions are keeping the Queens occupied as well. Cham is actually just kind of playing somewhat of a normal game, but I already think we're seeing why a lot of Zerg players vetoed this map, because this is not going very well, Ben. He's already lost 6 drones, and he hasn't killed a single unit yet.
I don't necessarily just want to blame the map, because he's not reacting to any of this so far, Kev. Like, these Liberators, like, they're almost getting like 3-4 drone kills, and then Cham reacts. You know what I mean? Like, if this is...
Oh no, that Queen is in range of the Liberator as well. Cham is paying attention to the heli, and SpeCial's doing a great job. This is a disaster. What a beatdown so far. An absolute perfect game. Mapu, can you bring up that beautiful units lost resource tab for us? And it's gonna tell a pretty insane story. As at this point, Cham has lost 23 units, and SpeCial has lost 0.
It's definitely not a good position to be in. And when you are against a player of this caliber, you want everything to go right. And when it's going this wrong, it feels doubly bad. 1-1 is on the way for SpeCial. We have the combat shields already halfway done, so that means he's already got stim as well. And this is already going to be a pretty scary number of Marines. And Cham, what kind of battle units does he have on the map? He does have 18 Zerglings and 5 Queens, but such a rough spot.
Like how you're like, he does have like 18 Zerglings, and in your voice I could hear disappointment. You're like, that's underwhelming. Like, I wish I had some Banelings to speak about or anything. No, it's none of that. Now, one Hellion is super low in HP. Are we going to get first blood here? Will a Hellion finally go down? The answer is no. It's Queens that actually go down, or at least a single Queen. No, SpeCial has still not lost a unit. Has now killed 32 workers. SpeCial is going to get the easiest cancel on a 4th hatchery in his life. And Cham, it's time to fight back, my friend.
Do you know what's really weird about this too? SpeCial actually left behind quite a lot of units. Like, this push felt like it was... He almost just used enough that he could lift it all up with just the 2 Bedevacs. Because, yeah, right outside his natural, that's a huge load of units. If he just marches across the map, I don't know how Cham's going to stop this.
Unless SpeCial just clumps up all his Marines and Banelings roll in, then he can. Now, first 2 Hellions have finally gone down, so at least this won't be a perfect game. Link Baneling does engage here and, like, gets a Marine or 2. But now the real army shows up. +1 is done already. SpeCial... I mean, Cham doesn't even have any upgrades yet. He does have Baneling speed, but that is it. Ben, I don't like what's happening. I'm going to close my eyes. More drones are going down to another Liberator that shows up in the main base. Cham not reacting yet. He's... Man, what a disaster of a game. This is no other way to put it. That hatchery didn't get cancelled either, I believe. I can't do this, man. This is all you. GG gets called. SpeCial takes game 1 on Submarine after killing, listen to this, 79 units, and he lost 5.
Yeah, the end resources lost tab was 2,993 to 350. So he was 10 times more efficient with his units. And you know, Kevin, I'll say it again. It's a beautiful looking map.
You disgust me. All right, well, guys, I expected a lot of things. That is really just not something I expect. Cham is very good. He may not be SpeCial, but Cham is very good. He had a good run once at the WCS Kiev as well, where he took out multiple strong European contenders. So we know what he's capable of. He can absolutely duke it out with the best in the foreign scene. He has taken series of people that you really wouldn't expect him to take series off. This was a game that I don't want to say anything else about it, because it was Cham unworthy. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, like if you're a Cham and it was like, hey, what about that game 1 against SpeCial? He'd probably be like, I don't want to talk about it. Like,
he'd be like, what game? It's like, that game on Submarine. He's like, no.
Like, and honestly, that is the best thing that Cham can do, because everything that could go wrong went really wrong. Very often when you get into the first game of a series, it's kind of like finding your way with yourself and stuff, but maybe every moment that he looked away from something, it was like the exact time that he was meant to be looking at it. And sometimes StarCraft 2 can be that brutal, you know? And I think that was definitely one of those situations.
Yeah, well, Submarine. What about Submarine? We still haven't seen it yet. Let's go ahead and hop into Eternal Empire, a map that, like I said many times, has provided us with gems. I'm on the purity and industry hype train. You know, I would have loved to see some more purity and industry. Rich recipe and guys, gold bases, islands, slow zones. I mean, make those speed zones. They should have just upgraded that part. You know, turn the inhibited zones on purity and industry, make them acceleration zones. Best map ever. Anyway, here we go, guys. Round 2. As we're looking at the main base of a man who probably didn't expect such a walk in the park. Top right side. Main base of a SpeCial.
And spotting on the left, bottom hand side on Eternal Empire, it is Cham. Yeah, definitely a disappointing first showing, but also, you probably have this too, Kev. When one thing goes wrong in a game, it can spiral out of control. You know, it's like falling down the stairs. Like the initial fall, yeah, that sucks, but you just keep on going. You know, and like that first Liberator dealing as much damage, and it stayed until the end dealing damage. Just a nightmare situation.
I'll be more dramatic. It started off with the Reaper killing a first drone.
And then a second drone.
Yeah, and then a second drone. Like it started off with 2 drones, but how did we end up like this? That's just a disaster. There's no other way to put it. But that's okay. We know that Cham is capable of more. We know that he's capable of better. And hopefully he's able to show what he's made of here on Eternal Empire. Map is a lot bigger, so he's going to have a little more time to get ready for everything. And we'll see. I mean, I do think in general of him as a Roach player in this matchup. Last game, he actually tried to play Ling Bane. A little bit surprised. We saw a Spire on the way as well. We didn't really touch upon it because the game was over before that Spire really ever came into play. I'd like to see him play Roaches, even though this might not be the best Roach map. A lot of Zergs would say no map is good for Roaches against Terran, but you know, some of these guys are experts with the unit. Like we've seen Namchar in the past as well be successful with Roaches. I'd like to see Cham just stick to what he's best at.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, I haven't seen Cham play for a while, you know? I remember a couple of years ago, he was playing a lot on the European server, and he used to sit around like 6.6k, you know, which is really damn high. And he was very, very solid. You talked about that run that he had at Kiev, which he did very, very well at. And kind of, it felt to me like a resurgence of his. I was going to ask you, have you ever gone into like a group stage where you know that somebody else is the favorite? And when you've gone up against them, you felt a bit like, oh, this game doesn't matter too much. Oh my gosh, he gets a drone again.
No, I have had that feeling, but I do think, well, he gets his second one. Are we, like, it almost feels like we're playing on the Korean server over here. Like, Cham is indeed just reacting to things a little bit slower than we expect him. And for the people who think we're being a bit harsh on Cham, that's only because we know what Cham is capable of. We know that he's a good player. He has taken off games and series of people as good as SpeCial. And this is just not the level of play that I expect from him. To go back to your question, Ben, yes, I know exactly what you want. There is a counter argument to be made for that, though, and that is that if you lose here, then the best you can do is second place. You'll play Kalazur immediately. Now, there's a counter argument for that to be said that, well, maybe Cham is just confident that even if he falls to the lower bracket there, he will still be top 3 in the tournament, and then he can win the series that really matters. I don't know. I think that's way too crazy. That's too risky. He will most likely have to play some ZBZs in that lower bracket of the playoffs as well, right? Because Eric is there, Jim Rising is there. Do you really want to play those guys with your tournament live on the line? I would probably say no, I don't think so.
Oh, no, you're totally right. Like, the best thing you can possibly do is always try your best, right? Like, if you stay in a winner bracket kind of situation, you have less games, you make it further with, like, almost, I don't want to say less effort required, but you know what I mean? It's way less scary for yourself. So why put yourself in a more dangerous situation right now just because you potentially are saving something? But one thing I wanted to hint on is sometimes when I've had like a quote unquote the favorite in my group, I can almost resign before it's happened a little bit. And I'm not saying it's something you should be doing at all, but yeah, I'm just wondering what Cham's mindset is, because going into the start of these games, losing so many drones, like uncharacteristically, it is unusual to see.
Absolutely. Now we have a triple CC opening. We have Stim on the way. Once again, Eternal is a bigger map, so if there is one map where you can lose 2 drones and still bounce back, probably be this one. Just hope he catches a break. Often, all you really need is just one little moment of, yeah, that was awesome. You surround the heli and you roll a couple of banelings in the middle line. You get a Zergling 1 by. I don't really know. All that you need is one feel-good moment. And then maybe we will be casting a completely different series from that point forward. But look at the macro now as well, Ben. He's 70 out of 90, and there are 5 Overlords on the way. I mean, nobody likes supply blocks, but that's a little much for me as well.
I think Cham is definitely a little out of place, and I also think the way that SpeCial is bringing it to him Like even utilizing the Raven and the creep tumor change as well. Like the Hellions clean up those tumors much easier than they used to now. So I like this little play.
Auto turret maybe? I would like an auto turret that to make it more awkward. That is not going to happen.
It's hard to place though because you can't place it on the ramp. Oh.
Yeah, I meant on top of the ramps. Make it more awkward for those queens to run back.
Oh. That Raven does just get away. But I don't even think that was necessarily a bad trade by Cham at all. Getting rid of all the Hellions and removing that threat. Now he can drone up like a madman.
Oh, you're right. I mean, a single queen has gone down, 21 links, but 6 Hellions in the Reaper. This is definitely a lot better. The queens are still in a good position to immediately start spreading creep. And what I also like is that he's sending out a drone to double expand. He's at 61 drones at this point. Scan does go down in the natural of Champs, especially maybe just kind of trying to see what is happening there. Can I see something that matters? Can I potentially drop a little bit later? We'll see where this goes. But I'm with you. It gives Cham a little bit more freedom, and that's definitely what he needs because he was crumbling under the pressure a little bit.
Yeah, breathing room, exactly. 90 out of 146, so he made a few more overlords after we mentioned it, and his drone count, it isn't crazy. He's at 66, and he's non-stop producing Zerglings right now, which is definitely... it's a little unusual, right? Like taking double expansions while... not really being able to drone them up necessarily straight away. And SpeCial, he is back again, and this creep spread didn't get to spread far at all.
Queen's a bit out of position. Both does go down. SpeCial picks up all of his Marines, gets the hell out of there. Raven starts showing up in the natural. Good response this time by Cham. Pulls the drones away immediately. Overlords will take a little bit of a beating, but they can take it. And that was a better response, but... losing those queens as well. Immediately, the drones come back. The Raven unloads another auto turret, and this time 4 drones go down. All of this is just piling up, right? 5 drones even going down. Oh, what a series so far for Cham and SpeCial. I just have the feeling he's kind of running away with it. Now, Cham just built a lot of drones, and now he also has 7 meters in the way. I think if SpeCial takes this game a little slower than we expect him to, maybe, right? Maybe Cham can start turning this around. He is at 78 workers. That's awesome. He double expanded, so losing one of these bases is not the end of the world. He just needs a good fight somewhere.
SpeCial does know about this other kind of 5th base, I suppose, and does see how droned up it is. And upon scanning this, so he's going to commit regardless, even though he sees no drones here and lots of drones at the other base with the Raven. But we'll see how this fight goes, because it could potentially be quite a bit of creep, and you can see SpeCial kind of baiting him here, but the mutas are also flying across the map.
Yeah, a lot of Marines are being produced at once, an accidental Reaper as well, which I always think is a little bit funny, but a lot of Marines were left behind, and those Marines will say hello to the mutas. Mutas have to be careful, there's another army out on the map, and Cham at least reacts to that. Yeah, that was... I mean, losing one of those 2 bases, I said it, it's not the end of the world. And I gotta say, that went very easy, very smooth, SpeCial. Cham is at 85 drones, though. If he just wins a fight, hey, we've got a game on our hands.
We certainly do. There aren't many Banelings. In fact, they all show up a little bit after, but not after receiving quite a few tank shots there. And the creep spread again. Like, SpeCial is doing such a good job of just kind of slowly smothering Cham at this point in time. And
those Banes are not done yet. There are a couple of Banes that are done, actually, behind. The mutas were thinking about flanking to jump on top of these tanks, but SpeCial was aware of that. Few more Banelings getting picked off there. Juanito is playing fantastic StarCraft, and Cham, he's getting desperate. This time he just goes for it. All the Banelings are clumped up, and there was no high ground vision. So the Banes do get off deep, but man, we are so far off creep. More Marines come streaming forward. This fight is just not good enough for Cham. He's sitting on 12 on the minerals as well. 1,000 gas in the bank. Resources lost. Once again, a 2-to-1 ratio. And I'm afraid that this time there is no saving this base. GG gets called. Other and complete.